How did we end up like this? It was just a simple kiss, but I must admit it caught me off guard. It was a kiss of passion that shot through my lips and straight into my heart. It's like you know who I am and I know who you are, so I'm doing everything I can to keep from going too far. Cause something like this could only lead to broken hearts, bruises and scars. And that's what I was trying to tell you that day in the car, but you just wouldn't listen. You kept insisting that I give you one chance to show me all the tricks you could do with your hands, do with your tongue, do with your mouth. You begged for one chance just to go down south, cause you wanted to please me, relieve me. You said I felt tense and we could do all this without getting too intense. Said it is what it is, but I wasn't too convinced, so I tried to resist. I tried to act as if these feelings I had didn't exist. But how much longer could I put up this defense? How much longer could I straddle this fence? You rattled my suspicion, and I began to think you was capable of doing all the things you mentioned. And I envisioned you and I in so many different positions, and I tried to maintain my position that it didn't make sense to put ourselves in this situation. Cause I knew what we were up against, I knew the reality we were facing. I knew we were moving in the wrong direction with the steps that we were taking. I knew this was a mistake that we were making, but my nose began to wear thin, and before I knew it, you was in, and it was over before it could even begin. We were drowning in sin. One kiss led to an addiction, and ever since then, I've been thinking of you. I knew I should have done more than consider the risk, more than analyzing that and analyzing this. But ain't a lie that I could tell you that would make any sense. It just is what it is. We started out as friends, but then I got so into you and you got so into me, and we got so intimate, I guess we got in too deep. We were spending time like we were suspended in time, and everywhere we go we were side by side. And I could see how it boosted your pride, and I got used to you, so I began to loosen my ties and open my mind. I'm praying that God would send me a sign. Maybe I'm supposed to be yours and you're supposed to be mine, but I hear you in one ear and my conscience in another. So how can I hear God when I'm scattered, smothered, and covered in love so thick you can cut through it? See, we got so comfortable that it wasn't nothing to it but to do it. We laid up releasing bodily fluids, listening to soft music, the sound of the acoustic. Found something so profound, but we began to abuse it. It started getting confusing. Why do I feel like I'm losing? Why am I standing still while the whole world is moving? How long before one of us lost it? How long before the love and passion was being offset by envy and possession? How long before the regression? How many more sessions could I sit through and listen as you struck a nerve talking about her and her and her? Cause it seemed you were only trying to get to me, but I wanted to be commitment free. And you began to talk in circles. Sometimes I had no clue of what you were talking about. I just wanted to get out. I felt like I was drowning, and every time I reached for the surface, you pulled me back down. So I thought if I stopped coming around that those feelings would just fade away. But that was yesterday, and today I'm still thinking of you. We started off with one rule: don't ask, don't tell. We were fuck friends, but then it got hard as hell. I guess the feeling snuck in and it wasn't hard to tell. Hell, I tried to play it cool, but that got hard to sell. Cause everybody who was anybody was well aware that we was on our way or had already gone there. Maybe it was the way we touched or how we stared. Maybe they could look at us and tell we were scared that somebody would shed the light on what we did in the dark. Did in the office, did in the car, did in the park, did on the highway, in the driveway. Did it your way, did it my way? Did so many times we lost count. Did on the floor, did on the counter, did on the bed, did on the couch. Did with or without what you did with your mouth. Did out west, did down south. What if they did? What if they did find out? We replayed the scenario so many times in our head that neither one of us really cared who knew what or what was said. But it wasn't that simple, cause we confused ourselves with mixed signals. And I just want out of this position. And it's not about fault, it's more about intentions. Cause now we want answers to questions that we can't bring up or mention. Like when I'm not with you, sometimes you wonder who I've been with. And when I call, sometimes I wonder who is listening. Cause it sounds like you're whispering, but it's just my suspicion. See, we crossed that line and now we both tripping. Until this day I'm wishing we could go back to what it was, when I was more like a star that you could appreciate from afar but never touch. And you was more like a masterpiece, a beautiful work of art surrounded by glass that if broken, it would only break hearts. And here we are this star, this art somehow falling apart. And though we both say no regrets, we didn't know on the day that we met that we would become slaves to the secrets we kept. But yet, we continued to creep, and as we crept, we left so much behind that it was only a matter of time before our past would catch up. But you wouldn't let up, and I couldn't let go. We were in the heat of passion, but I couldn't sweat though. But little did we know that he know and she know, and there was no down low, cause everybody around know. It's like the whole town know. But you told me no matter what, you would hold me down. So the sound of those words echoed through my soul. And as we went from hot to cold, it got so cold we almost froze. The same old, same just got old, and it showed. It was time for us to bring it to a close, but neither one of us wanted to be the first to let go. Neither one of us wanted to show that we had lost control. And no matter how physical it got, we were still emotional. See, neither one of us knows when it will, if it will ever end, cause it's been forever and we haven't touched, we haven't fucked, and I still been thinking of you.